Hey book lovers, Victoria here and you're watching My Books Areme. Today I'm going to be doing a bookshelf tour because I've just recently reorganized my shelves and they are looking so pretty that I thought I better take advantage of doing this right now. I think I did our last bookshelf tour in 2015. I do not think I did one last year. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm really going to be showing you guys my fiction shelves because they are the most organized and clean. Also, I won't be able to pull my books out and actually show you the covers of all of them, but I'm still going to show you all the books I have, so let's get into it. So these are all my shelves. As you can see, I've got a large stack of books. So these are all my fictional books, and as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I have them organised in alphabetical order by author surname. Although in saying that, as you can see, I've got like stacks of books. I've got a stack on each shelf. So they're sort of not in alphabetical order because I've got to put, you know, trying to fit the same size books and some series and authors on the stack. So it's a little bit out of alphabetical order, but it's still in alphabetical order. So let's begin. Start off up here. This is my little random shelf. Up here I have graphic novels, and then I have classics, and then just some random books on top. So we'll start at the top. I have The Princess Bride by William Goldman and Angels and Demons and the Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Mainly they're up here because they're odd sizes and they don't fit on my shelf properly. So first we have Printer's Devil Court by Susan Hill, and then we have Alice's Ventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I have books 1 and 2 in the Degrassi extra credit graphic novels. Then I have this little thing called Remade, which is like a cereal thingy. I don't really know. I got that in an Our Crate box. And we have Through the Woods by what's her name? Emily Carroll. That's awkward. Then we have Username Evie and Username Regenerated by Joe Sugg. I have the 3 volumes in Sex Criminals by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. I have volumes 1 and 2 of The Wicked and the Divine by Kieran Gillian. I have volume 1 of East of West by Hickman and Dragotta, I don't know their names. Chew volume 1 by John Layman and Rob Gilroy. The Fade Out volume 1 by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. I have 1 through 4 of season 9 of the Charm graphic novels and volume 1 of the season 10 by Paul Ruditis and Pat Shand. And then I have Saga volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan. Then at the end here I have an anthology of Australian poetry and Australian short stories, which I had for university last year and I've kept them. I have the Penguin Henry Lawson short stories and some short stories by D.H. Lawrence, as well as the Transmigration of Bodies by Yuri Haria. And then down here we have my classic shelf, which I'm slowly trying to collect the Penguin English Library classics, but I haven't quite got there yet. So we have Christmas Stories by Charles Dickens, Wildcat Falling by Mud Ruru, which is an Aboriginal book, Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, The Mill on the Floss by George Eliot, The Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer, The Romance of the Forest by Anne Radcliffe, Dracula by Bram Stoker, Journey to the Centre of the Earth by Jules Verne, The Australian Ugliness by Robin Boyd, The Mystery of a Handsome Cab by Fergus Hume, The Home Girls by Olga Master, and at the end there is The Monarch of the Glen by Compton Mackenzie. Then up here we have books that I have received for review that I have not read yet, which looks really bad because I haven't read them yet. So here actually firstly I've got a little preview of Moon Chosen by PC Cast. I don't remember what I got that in. I think I got it in a book subscription box, but I just have it sitting here because it looks really cute. So here we have Gold Citrus Fame by Claire V. Watkins, Cleopatra's Shadow by Emily Holloman, Beloved Poison by E.S. Thompson, Love Murder by Saul Black, On the Other Side by Carrie Hope Fletcher, A Light in the Desert by Anne Montgomery, The Wolf Road by Beth Lewis, The Awakening by Kenneth Chisholm, Revenants, The Odyssey Home by Scott Kaufman, Something Only We Know by Kate Long, Breath of the Dragon by A.L. Tate, Trial by Fire, Fire, Walker and Witches Prior by Josephine Angelini, The Crown by Kira Cass, Book of Lies by Terry Terry, The Memory Book by Lara Avery, and The Industry and the Estate by Rose Foster. And then down here I have my little Penguin Black Classics. So we have Femme Fatale, Caligula, Olala, The Tinderbox, The Old Nurse's Story, The Yellow Wallpaper, The Great Fire of London, The Figure in the Carpet, Anthem for Doomed Youth, Sinbad the Sailor, The Dolphins, The Whales and the Gudgeon, The Voyage of Sir Francis Drake around the world, around the whole globe I should say, Cirque and the Cyclops, The Fall of Icarus, and The Madness of Cambyses, and Lady Susan. I haven't read any of them pretty much. So, on to the actual, like, good stuff. So we have shelf number 1, and there we have Dobby and Luna Lovegood. So, in this first stack, as I said, it's not in order, but it kind of goes from the bottom up. We have When Michael Met Mina by Randa Abdul Fattah, Halo by Alexander Adornetto, Never Always Sometimes by Adi Alsad, The Leaving by Tara Aldebrando, Me, Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews, Every Other Day by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, Night Owls by Jean Bennett, Yours ER by Terence Blacker, 2 copies of Three Dark Crowns by Ken Dare Blake, and at the top there is The Midnight Witch by Paula Braxton. Then we go on here to The Berlin King and the Belinda Seat by Laura Anderson, The Haters by Jessie Andrews, Red Queen, Glass Sword, and Cruel Crown by Victoria Aveyard, and Frostblood by Ellie Blake. Onto this shelf we have Snape and Dumbledore looking over the Goddess Inheritance trilogy, which is the Goddess Test trilogy, which is the Goddess Test, Goddess Inherited, and the Goddess Interrupted, and the Goddess Inheritance by Amy Carter. Then we have Worlds of Ink and Shadow by Lena Coakley, The 12 and the Passage by Justin Cronin. I have City of Mirrors on the next shelf because it was too fat for up here. And then we have The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton, Just a Girl by Jane Caro, The Siren, The Heir, Happily Ever After, The One, The Selection Stories, The Elite, and The Selection by Kira Cass, and then The Way We Fall by Megan Crew. And here are some nice fairy lights on my shelf. So down here we have Quidditch Harry and a Little Hermione. So then we have The City of Mirrors by Justin Cronin at the end there, Conjured by someone Durst, I don't really know who it is. Sarah Beth Durst, that would be. Then we have some Smitten books. So we have Head Over High Heels, Lost and Found, Tall, Dark and Distant, Unlucky Break, and Piece of Cake by Kate Foster and Julie Fizen. Then here we have Words in the Deep Blue by Kath Cowley, Flint and Silver by John Drake, The Queen's Lady and the Rogue Princess by Eve Edwards, Lobsters by Tom Ellen and Lucy Avizin, I think that's how you say her name, Black by Fleur Ferris, You're the One I Want, and Billy and Me by Giovanna Fletcher, Things I Didn't Say by Carly Fornazer, The Accident Season by Maura Fowley Doyle, A Rose for the Anzac Boys, and Pennies for Hitler by Jackie French. Then over here I have this really cool V that lights up, and this is my favourite shelf, I think, mainly because it has all my Abby Glines books on it. So we have at the top here the Vincent Boys, and then we have Fallen Too Far, Never Too Far, Forever Too Far, Rush Too Far, Twisted Perfection, Simple Perfection, Take a Chance, One More Chance, You Were Mine, When I'm Gone, When You're Back, The Best Goodbye, and Up in Flames, as well as Until Friday Night and Under the Lights, all by Abby Glines. Then we have A Waltz for Matilda by Jackie French, Nobody's Princess, Nobody's Prize, and Sphinx's Princess by Esther Freisner, I think that's how you say her name. And then An Abundance of Catherines and Paper Towns by John Green. I love that shelf. Then down here we have The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, Half Bad by Sally Green, Signs Point to Yes and a Little Something Different by Sandy Hall, Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton, The Killing of Kayla Sloan by Kim Harrington, Don't Look Back by S.B. Hayes, Winter's Shadow by M.J. Hurl, The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han, and Becoming Kira Lee Lewis by Jane Harrison. Then The King's Curse by Philippa Gregory, My Lady Jane by who writes this book? Cynthia Hand, Brodie Ashton, and Jodie Meadows. Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins, and Legacy of Kings and Empire of Dust by Eleanor Herman. Then on this side is another shelf that I really like the look of, and that is Splintered by A.G. Howard, These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, Illuminae and Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. Then we have Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, Crystal Kingdom, Ice Kissed, Frostfire, Ascend, Torn, Switched, and Wake, all by Amanda Hocking, Velvet by Mary Hooper, and The Queen of the Turling by Erica Johansson. Then down here on the bottom shelf, I have The Dead House by Dawn Kurtajich, My Sister Rosa by Justine La Valencia, The Distributable History of Frankie Lando Banks and We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, Glee, The Beginning of Glee, Foreign Exchange by Sophie Lau, and in there is Daughters Unto Devils by Amy Lukovics. Then we have The Betrayal of Natalie Hargrove, Rapture, Torment, Passion and Fallen by Lauren Kate, Storm Dancer by J. Christoph, 11/22/63 by Stephen King, and The Creeper Man by Dawn Kurtajich. Then on the other side we have A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, The Other Side of Dawn, The Night is for Hunting, Burning for Revenge, Darkness Be My Friend, The Third Day of the Frost, The Dead of the Night, and Tomorrow When the War Began by John Marsden. And then I have The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, Prince Caspian, The Horse and His Boy, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis. I really need to get the other books in the series. Then we have A Court of Thorns and Roses and Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, Shatter Me by Tahira Murphy, Looking for Ali Brandy by Melina Machetta, Wicked Lovely and Darkest Mercy by Melissa Marr, Scone of the Sun by Nicola Marsh, and The Darkest Secret by Alex Marwood. So that is all that is on this first shelf. Then here we have another little shelf under my window, and as you can see on the top I have got books stacked up for miles. So we'll start here. We have The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, The Outliers by Kimberly McCreet, Heartless by Marissa Meyer, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, Beside Myself by Anne Morgan, The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstein, Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, The Time Traveller's Wife by Audrey Niffinker, and Hatchet and Brian's Winter by Gary Paulson. And then we have Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson, Made of Secrets by someone McGowan. I can't remember what her name is and I can't get the book out. Anyway, I'll put the name on the screen maybe. And then Soundless by Rochelle Mead. And then I have some little candles down here that I got in a Carrie's Book Club box. On this side we have Cinder, Scarlet and Ferris by Marissa Meyer. And then we have the Sabriel by Garth Nix, Evermore by Alison Knoll, Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes, My True Love Gave to Me, which is a collection of Christmas short stories edited by Stephanie Perkins, Night Film by Marisha Pessel, Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer, Catherine the Virgin Widow by Jean Pladley, Frankie by Siobhan Plaza, Goddess by Lauren Plow, and Akane by Lynette Noni. Down here, down on the bottom shelf here, we have Dumplin' by Julie Murphy, Newt's Emerald by Garth Nix, and Dreaming Anastasia by Joy Preble. And then we have Blaze of Glory by Michael Pryor, Mary and Elizabeth by Emily Purdy, Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging, It's Okay I'm Wearing Really Big Knickers, and Knocked Up by My Nunga Nungas by Louise Renison, The Girl in the Photograph by Kate Ryden. Then I have the Percy Jackson series, which is obviously The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan. Then over here I have my Rainbow Rowell books. So I have Landline, Carry On, Fangirl, Eleanor and Park. I do also have Landline. I do also have Attachments, but I don't really know where that went. But anyway, that's meant to be there somewhere as well. And then I have Dead Rules by Iris Russell, Dissolution by C.J. Hansen, Nerve by Jeannie Ryan, I don't know how to say her name. And then I have Blood Brothers, The Hollow and the Pagan Stone by Nora Roberts. And then I have Kindred Spirits by Rainbow Rowell, which is her World Book Day story. I then have Lily and the Octopus by Stephen Rowley, Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rash, and Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. So then at the top here I have a whole stack of books because I wasn't really utilising the top of this shelf very well and I needed the space. So firstly so on this first one I have Tales of the Peculiar, Library of Souls, Hollow City, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs and Magnus Chase, and The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. Then on this one I have Alison Hewitt is Trapped, Sanctum, Asylum, and the Asylum Novellas by Madeline Rowe, and then I have Replica by Lauren Oliver. At the back here I have The Unbound, The Archived, and A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, The Granny, The Chislers, and The Mummy by Brendan O'Carroll. These are Mrs. Brown's Boys books. And then When You Were Mine by Rebecca Searle. Then at the front here I have The Sorceress, The Magician, and The Alchemist by Michael Scott, and First Life by Gina Sholter. On the top here I have Dying by the Hour by Corey M. Schrum, Geek Girl Model Misfit, Geek Girl Geek Drama, and Geek Girl Picture Perfect by Holly Smale. And then sitting on the top here I have Freaks by Amanda Hocking, which I'm currently reading, so that doesn't actually live here, and Ken Follett, The Pillars of the Earth, which is just sort of living here because this bit right here is actually my tripod when I film my videos, so that's really all they're here for. Finally, we have these two stacks that you often see in my videos. Anyway, so this first stack is really where it continues on. Firstly we have the Pretty Little Liars series. So we have Twisted, Wanted, Heartless, Killer, Wicked, Pretty Little Secrets, Unbelievable, Perfect, Flawless, and Perfect by Sarah Shepard, and then The Perfectionist by Sarah Shepard, Hello, Goodbye, and Everything in Between, and The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith, Poison Study and Magic Study by Marina D. Schneider, Born Wicked by Jessica Spotwood, Lament by Maggie Stiefvater, The Circle by someone Elfgren and Strandberg, they're like Swedish authors, I think. Then we have Girl Online on Tour, and Girl Online Going Solo by Zoe Sugg, 17 and Gone by Nova Ren Suma, Prisoner of the Black Hawk and Race to the End of the World by A.L. Tate, Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, The Poison Diaries by someone Wood, I can't remember. This is really bad that they only have the surname written on the spine of the book. Insurrection by Robin Young, Paper Valentine by Brenna Yovanov, and then Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel, mainly because it's a stupid fat book that takes up valuable space on my actual shelves. Then down the bottom here we have the first 2 volumes of the Oz Completed Collection by Frank L. Baum. Then I have some Jodi Picoult books that I probably will never read, but they're here anyway because they look pretty. We have The Pact, which is a really good book, 90 Minutes, Picture Perfect, Salem Falls, Perfect Match, and Vanishing Acts. Then I have Kiss Me Deadly, which is edited by Tricia Tellep, and it is a paranormal romance collection of stories. Sweep Volume 1 by Kate Turnham. Then I have the 3 books in the Lord of the Rings trilogy by J.R.R. Tolkien. I have the first Mary Poppins book by P.L. Travers. Trouble is a Friend of Mine by Stephanie Tromley. Bodysnacks and The Adventures of Bodysnacks and Gumball by S.A. Wakefield. We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallace. P.S. I Like You and the Fill-In Boyfriend by Cassie West, Mobile Library by David Whitehouse, The Messenger and the Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. Then I have King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table by Roger Lancel Green. And then I have The Blood Debt, The Crooked Letter, and The Devoured Earth by Sean Williams. So that is my bookshelf. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour. I'm sorry I couldn't show you all the covers, but it's also pretty, and they're all in stacks that I can't really like pull apart just to show you guys, but I'm sure you will know all these books anyway. If you want to check out my thoughts on the books I have read, make sure you follow me on Goodreads, check out my blog, and I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye!